Welcome back, guys. In today's video, I'll be discussing 5 stocks that have given a breakout during the week ending July 18th and could continue their upward momentum in the short term. These are some very interesting technical setups that have recently broken out and could be worth keeping on your watch list. So stick around till the end because we've got a lot to know and a lot to discuss. First, let's take a quick look at how the broader markets performed this week. The Nasdaq led the declines, falling 2.18%, followed by the S&P 500, which was down 1.19%. The Dow Jones lost 1.01%, while the Russell 2000 held up relatively better, declining just 0.4%. Overall, it was a weak week for U.S. equities, with technology and other large-cap stocks facing the most selling pressure, while small-cap stocks proved comparatively more resilient. Well, before we jump into this week's stock setups, let's quickly recap what moved the markets over the past few days. The biggest highlight was the June inflation data. Both the consumer price index and producer price index came in softer than expected, reinforcing the view that inflation pressures continue to ease. That helped support expectations that the Federal Reserve can afford to remain patient on interest rates, which was a positive development for equities. Earnings season also got off to a solid start, with several major U.S. banks delivering better than expected results. Let's start with the first company on the list today. But before we dive in, remember to treat this channel as a screener for stocks at crucial levels, not as investment advice. Let's begin with Delek U.S. Holdings, ticker DK. And for this one, we're looking at the monthly time frame. This is one of the strongest long-term breakouts on today's list because the stock has finally managed to clear a resistance level that had remained intact for almost 8 years. If we go back to June 4th, 2018, that's where the stock formed a very important swing high around $61.57. After making that high, the stock was rejected sharply and spent the next several years trading below that level. Every rally during this period eventually failed before it could establish a sustained move above that resistance, which made this an extremely important price level from a technical perspective. Fast forward to now, and the stock has finally managed to push above that long-standing resistance. The breakout occurred during the week of July 13th, 2026, with the stock currently trading around $63.25. What makes this breakout particularly interesting is the time frame involved. When a stock spends nearly 8 years building a base before finally breaking out, it usually means a large amount of supply has already been absorbed. As long as the price can continue holding above this previous resistance, traders will be watching to see whether this breakout develops into a longer-term uptrend rather than turning into a false breakout. Looking at the business itself, Delek U.S. Holdings operates in the energy sector and is primarily involved in petroleum refining along with the transportation, storage, and wholesale distribution of crude oil and refined petroleum products. The company currently has a market capitalization of around $3.88 billion and generated sales of $10.73 billion, although it reported a net loss of $51.40 million over the last 12 months. It continues to pay a dividend with a trailing yield of 1.61%. Next stock is Columbia Financial, ticker CLBK. And here again, we're looking at the monthly time frame. This is another stock that has recently completed a long-term resistance breakout, although the consolidation period here is shorter than the previous chart at roughly 4 years. If we go back to July 25th, 2022, you'll notice that the stock formed a major swing high around $22.86. Over the past several months, however, the stock has been steadily recovering from its lows while also showing improving momentum. Rather than making a sudden vertical move, it gradually worked its way back toward this resistance before finally breaking above it during the week of July 13th, 2026. The stock is now trading around $23.42, placing it comfortably above the previous resistance level. One additional point worth noting on this chart is the volume. As the breakout took place, trading volumes expanded noticeably compared to the previous months. While volume alone doesn't guarantee that a breakout will succeed, higher participation during a breakout is generally considered a constructive sign because it suggests stronger buying interest behind the move. From a business perspective, Columbia Financial operates in the financial bank holding company, providing traditional banking, wealth management, and other financial services. The company currently has a market capitalization of $2.44 billion and generated $513.60 million in revenue while remaining profitable, with net income of $55.97 million. It currently trades at a PE ratio of 42.57. Before we move on, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment below, letting me know which breakout looks the most promising to you. Your engagement really helps the channel reach more traders who enjoy this type of content, and I truly appreciate the support. Now let's take a look at Reinsurance Group of America, ticker RGA. And for this one, we're switching over to the weekly time frame. Unlike the previous two charts, this breakout has developed over a shorter period, but it's still technically significant because the stock has managed to clear a resistance level that had capped prices for roughly 1.8 years. If we go back to November 25th, 2024, that's where the stock established an important high around $233.81. Since then, every attempt to move above that level had failed, making it a very well-defined resistance area. What's particularly interesting here is the overall structure that developed before the breakout. The stock gradually formed what appears to be a cup and handle pattern, with the long rounded recovery followed by a relatively shallow consolidation just beneath resistance. This is generally viewed as a constructive continuation pattern because it allows the stock to digest previous gains before attempting another move higher. Fundamentally, Reinsurance Group of America operates in the financial sector and provides life and health reinsurance products across multiple international markets. The company has a market capitalization of $15.84 billion and generated $24.94 billion in revenue, with net income of $1.23 billion. It also remains profitable with a PE ratio of 13.12, while offering a dividend yield of 1.54%. Let's continue with Alpine Income Property Trust, ticker PINE, and for this one, we're looking at the monthly time frame. The stock has finally broken above a resistance level around $21.069 that had remained intact since January 3rd, 2022, completing a breakout after roughly 5 years of consolidation. It's currently trading around $21.75, just above that breakout level. On the fundamental side, Alpine Income Property Trust is a REIT that owns a portfolio of single-tenant commercial properties. The company has a market capitalization of $359.41 million and generated $64.73 million in revenue over the last 12 months. While it reported a small loss, it currently offers a dividend yield of 5.38%. Our final stock for today is First Industrial Realty Trust, ticker FR, and once again, we're looking at the monthly time frame. Here, the stock has broken above its previous high of $66.74, a level that was formed on December 27th, 2021. That completes a breakout after approximately 4.7 years of consolidation. The stock is now trading around $68.86. The chart has also formed a rounding bottom pattern, which adds further strength to the overall setup. Fundamentally, First Industrial Realty Trust is a REIT focused on industrial properties, including warehouses and distribution facilities. The company has a market capitalization of $9.43 billion and generated $744.83 million in revenue, with a healthy profit margin of 45.95%. It also offers a dividend yield of 2.74%. Guys, every week there are multiple breakout stocks, but I can't cover all of them in a single video. The regular viewers of my channel already know that I get these stock names from a screener that I personally developed. It took me years to build, but now it's able to identify these setups for me. If you're interested, let me run the screener in front of you and share the output. Apart from the 5 stocks I've covered in this video, You'll also get the names of all the major breakout stocks from the last 3 weeks. You can pause the screen, go through the list, and do your own analysis and due diligence. With that said, if you're new here, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. Also, please give this video a like and leave a comment below. Likes and comments play a huge role in helping YouTube recommend the channel to more people. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the midweek video dropping on Tuesday or Wednesday. Until then, take care.